Hi everyone, I'm the Dynamite Doll and you're watching episode 32 of Dirt with the Doll. Today's guest is my personal risk and security manager, Sei Boayue. Welcome to the Dollhouse. How are you today?
What's going on, sis? How you doing?
It is so good to see you. I miss you so much.
Miss
So
you
this is
too,
a nice
fam.
little catch up.
I know you're all the way over there in Canada, and we're over here, and yeah, is it still smoky up there?
It's been a little bit smoky. Yeah, I think the original fires were from Ontario, but now they're British Columbia fires. So
Oh,
it's been super windy too, though. So that's good,
probably
maybe.
doesn't help.
It'll push it out quicker, or I'm not too sure, but I'm
Nah,
feeling
like,
slightly under the weather from this smoke. I'm over it.
I don't blame you. I mean, try not to breathe. Try not to breathe, I guess.
So, did you get to do any SummerSlam watching this weekend?
I did realize that my sister-in-law and her husband they had their ESPN account still logged in here on my TV. So I was like, "Oh, I got SummerSlam. Might as well watch it." So we caught both nights. Um, but yeah, it was okay. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't over the top, but it was. It kept my interest enough for me to keep watching to see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Because it hasn't been up there for me yet lately to really watch it. I mean, but it's nothing against them. It's just like there's nothing grabbing me at the moment. You know what I mean? Like that's been happening until last night. I saw caught up on some of the matches like Roman versus Seth and you know what I mean? What is it? Where you see Kevin Owens returning. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That was pretty cool. Cool moment. It was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I haven't been watching like you very much lately, and I always do like to watch pay-per-views, get your pay-per-view snacks and all that. So
Hmm.
I did pull up for SummerSlam, and there were some great moments. I thought, I mean, since when is SummerSlam 2 nights for one?
I think they started doing that shortly after they started doing WrestleMania, for
Okay.
2 nights, because I
Yeah.
know those are the 2 biggest pay-per-views of the year for them.
Right.
So I get it, you know what I mean? I'm not surprised, I'm pleasantly surprised that they, ended the show a little earlier, like, in the evening. It's not how pay-per-views used to go to, like, 10, 11, sometimes midnight, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? This ended, like, maybe
I guess
between
9
9 and
o'clock
10.
your guys' time?
Yeah,
Because it was 7
9.
over here. I was like, "I still have the whole night. What am I supposed to do?"
That's what I'm saying, and I'm just like, yeah, that's actually very considerate of
Mm,
them
not bad.
because, especially for kids that watch and they gotta go to school the next day or people getting up for work, so that's actually, it worked out from a time perspective, but yeah, I mean, you mentioned snacks, I mean, me, the health nut,
Is that the
you know
time
what I
you
mean?
let loose?
Cashews for me.
Oh, man.
She
I'm
said,
like, "I
"Oh,
need some
man."
chips and dip and wings, usually salad." Ended up getting some pizza, like, cheese and crackers, the whole 9 yards, all by myself
All all by yourself.
and my
How
cats.
big was the pie? Was it a medium? Was it a large? What'd you got?
Oh, just like a little small one, you know?
Oh, okay, a little personal
Like
pan,
a
I ain't mad at
flatbread.
that. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, it's not really pizza.
flatbread. It's hardly a pizza. Is it really a pizza? Yeah, I
No,
mean,
not really. So that's why I
okay.
can I'm like you usually with my diet, but,
Mhm.
pay-per-views, I'm gonna go all out.
I'm mad at that. Yesterday was cheat day. Did have pizza. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and I like Old Bay fries. One of 2 of my favorite cheat meals. In case you're wondering, I don't eat like that every day, but
Oh, yeah,
like,
you love your fries.
oh, I love my fries. Okay, you put some Old Bay on that. Whew.
That's what's up.
Oh, love it.
But definitely some highlights for me, for SummerSlam were, Liv Morgan and Io Shirai, is it? Is that how you say her last name?
EO Sky.
Sky Shirai. Who am I? Hey, start with an S. Yeah, they were the first match of night 1, and that was incredible.
That that
Um,
was
yeah,
that
and then
was
Chelsea Green had her moment yesterday, and so that was probably obviously she won the
the,
SummerSlam moment belt, I guess, as well.
yeah, it's the let's see, to go in order with Liv Morgan versus Io Sky was an incredible match.
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, I mean, and it's nothing against Liv Morgan because because she's great, but I feel Io should have won that one. But that's just me. I like them
Yeah,
both.
I've
Don't get me
always really
wrong.
liked
Like,
her.
yeah, I mean, I like them both. I know you're a fan of Liv.
I am,
I
but
I know
EO,
you're a
come
big.
on,
Yeah, I mean,
that
but
Japanese style, high flying.
Io is just she's just fearless, man. Like she's an incredible performer. You know what I mean? That takes nothing away from Liv Morgan because she's a hell of a wrestler in her own right. Um, and then you mentioned Chelsea Green, who was, a lot of us can relate to with that underdog energy that she has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was that episode of WWE's Unreal where
I'll have to watch that. I've seen a bunch of clips.
yeah, this is why this is in relation to Chelsea Green. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and her underdog energy that that apparently she has, at WWE, where Michael Hayes said in I forget what episode it was in the first season that he said that, like Chelsea Green is great, but she's not meant to be in the main event. Like I'm paraphrasing. He said something
Yeah,
along
he
those
said
lines,
something like she's meant to build the others.
build the others up, you know what I mean? And then she wins the women's championship last night. And I hate that they're calling it the interim champion,
Yeah.
the interim women. So what does that mean when Rhea comes back? They're just going to hand the belt back to her? Like, no, I don't know why
Yeah.
they keep putting emphasis on interim. No, she's just the champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give her that respect. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
but in the post show interview that Chelsea did with with Big E and Corey Graves and all them, when she said she dedicated this win to Michael Hayes, I lost it. I'm like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Chelsea. We here for
And
that
the crowd
energy.
wanted her to win. They were all cheering for her, so
They wanted it, man.
yeah.
But she definitely earned that, man. Like she puts up with a lot more than people probably realize, probably know. You know what I mean? Like especially behind the scenes, because we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes, even what they tell us on Unreal. But like I feel like Chelsea's done more than pay her dues to earn that spot on like WWE's second biggest pay-per-view of the year. That was pretty incredible. I'm happy that she won.
Yeah, and I got to watch her up and coming because she's from BC, Victoria, but she
Okay.
did her training here in Calgary with Lance Storm. So when she was new and up and coming, I got to watch her in the Indies. So I've watched her since back then. So
Oh, nice.
super happy for her. I got goosebumps when she
Yeah.
won that belt. I was like,
I mean, great moment. And, her husband, Matt Cardona, FKA Zack Ryder, for, people have watching WWE as long as I have, pretty old.
mhm,
Uh, he was there ringside celebrating with her, like after she won. I mean, it's just a great moment. And her family was there too, not just Zach, but the rest of her family were there too. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Matt Cardona. He don't go by Zach no more. But it's good to see when the underdog that people never thought would rise to an occasion finally gets their break, finally gets to that level, and then shocks everyone. That shock factor. Her winning the biggest one of the biggest titles in the women's division reminds me of when Jinder Mahal beat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Like that was a shock, and I was there for it because Jinder. Shout
another
out to Raj, man.
Calgarian.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. He
Yeah,
was born out there. That's right. He
yeah.
did mention that, and I was like, "Wow, that's a new fact. I didn't know he was born in Canada."
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Us
that's
underdogs.
exactly. Chelsea's win reminded me of when Jinder, aka Raj, won the WWE title from Randy Orton, of all people, one of the greatest of all time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was a hell of a run. I enjoyed Jinder's work, Raj's work when he was champion. So Chelsea getting, I'm glad that underdog energy passed along to Chelsea, like from the women's perspective. So that's good for her, man. Like hell of a win.
Yes, and I love a good underdog story.
We all
Always,
do.
always have.
Hmm.
So you are so much more than I introduced you as. Of course, you have your own podcast, Say It Ain't So Swoh, Team Swoh,
Hmm.
which is your fitness line,
Hmm.
and then Swoh Gaming Dragon. And we met 2 years ago in Philadelphia at
Hmm.
Battleground Championship Wrestling.
Hmm.
And you were definitely someone that stood out to me when I met you. I was, meeting a whole bunch of new people that I didn't exactly know who everyone was. I was nervous. I'm coming to a new country, a new promotion.
Hmm.
And I didn't exactly know what it was that you did, but I knew that it fit and I knew that I liked it. So, speaking to you, you were kind, caring, protective, and gave off spiritual vibes. Fast forward to 2 years later, and we're doing so much work together, and it's so cool. I just absolutely love it.
It is. I remember when we met at BCW. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Tim,
Yeah, Tim, we
owner
miss
of
you.
BCW. We missed Tim. We missed Tim. Shout out to Tim. We when you came there when we introduced you, I forget who you were with
I was with my
at the
mom.
time. With your mom, Mama
Well,
B.
mom and
Shout out to Mama
like
B.
Paige,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah.
And Angelo. Yeah, I mean, I think at that same
No,
night,
not
I
that.
think
No, not the first show.
no, the second show. Sorry, I got that backwards. That first night, I think it was when you had introduced yourself to me when I think we were done doing the vendor thing, and I think you were sitting in the row right before the last one to watch the rest of the show when we were all done everything. And I think I forget who was sitting. I ended up sitting right near you. And I remember you introduced yourself to me, and you introduced ourselves to each other.
Yeah,
And we were
you were
always
with
cool from
Mercedes.
yeah, I was with Jasmine. I was with Jasmine because that's my sis. You know what I mean? Like Jasmine. Shout out to Jasmine, aka Mercedes Martinez, for those who don't know. But we were there, and I remember wondering why does she look so familiar? Like I never met you. I was like, why does she look familiar? You know what I mean? And then when I learned who you were, I said, oh shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Oh, she's wrestling royalty. Okay. Okay, but at then I'm just I like to observe. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
me, like when we're in public, I'm quiet. Oh, my head's always on a swivel. Like even when I'm not being your risk and security, I'm like this naturally. You know what I mean? So watching how you are, and people were interacting with you, and I'm like, okay, so she's known. You know what I mean? That was my interpretation at the time. But then the second time around when we linked up again, and that's when you were with Angelo's when we met Angelo. Shout out to Big Bro Low.
yeah. My manager. He became
Hmm.
my manager the second time I came out to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and you guys have been killing it. And I was shocked that you wanted to bring my wife and I, Steph and I, on. Shout out to my wife, Miss Swoh, aka Steph.
We love
To
you.
be, oh yeah, to be part of your team. Uh, because I'm thinking to myself, what could she have possibly seen in me and Steph to want us to come on board Team Dynamite? Because Lo and I were clicking. You know, what I mean, it's just
Yeah,
some energy it just clicks. And I'm not saying it was different with you, but what I mean, we had when we're talking, we realized we had a lot in common. You know what I'm saying? As far as
yeah.
our interests, our
Gaming
hobbies,
and
what we're working on, gaming being a big one, Swoh Dragon Gaming. You know what I mean? And we talked about that. And then when I realized who he was to you, and I saw how he was handling business on your behalf, like in real time there at the show at BCW at the ECW arena, I said,
yeah,
"Oh, so he must be like a manager of some sort of hers or something because he was really holding stuff down for you. You know, what I mean, I
yeah,
liked how he conducted himself. I like how he was running stuff and making sure that you were protected at all times in every capacity before I'm pretty sure before the thought of me and my wife coming along ever even crossed your mind to begin with. It was cool.
yeah.
Watching you in action and when we had that weird guy that was
Taking
filming
photos.
you without your permission. And when I saw how visibly uncomfortable you were, I mean, that's the protective spirit in me, I mean, with me, and this is well after Low and I built rapport with one another. And I don't know if you remember, I just kind of gently pushed you, but like you just kind of moved you behind me and stepped in front of you because I didn't know what was happening, and I was just following Lowe's lead on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think maybe I don't know if that's when you decided, but for me, that's just me and Nate naturally. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was definitely like Angelo's idea at first. He's like, "Hey, I think this would be, great to bring them on." And I agreed right away because I mean, what you guys represented, what I saw was, fitness, mental health advocate, that kind of spiritualism, that protectiveness. I saw that from you right away, like you mentioned. And so I was just like, I think, yeah. And your wife is a very hard worker, very intelligent, amazing with PR. And it just, yeah, it was like a natural click. It all, like you guys said, the gaming. And I was just like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
At the first show, Angelo had a different team working for me, but they're all in Florida. So it's like, it's
Ah,
hard for them to come over and they were great as well. But, you
the
guys are all
distance.
local and close to each other. And so it just made more sense.
That does. I mean, the distance does help. You know what I mean? In many aspects. You know what I mean? When you come here, because I know everything's nothing's cheap anymore. Even from Florida to Philly and all that. Like, let alone coming from Canada to here. Like
Yeah.
it's not cheap. So, but when you put it like that, it was just more of a logical and feasible option.
Yeah. It just
From
kind of
a
naturally happened.
yeah, it was completely organic. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful. You know what I mean? Because you've opened me up to seeing a side of the business that I've never seen before, that I've never like. I was on that side, but not as deep as I am now. But and that's thanks to you. And I was never looking for mooching because that's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about
No.
building my own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Well, you are teaching me about like building my own brand because you've been doing this since my shirt says 2017.
yeah, that's
Keep
when
grinding.
that yep, I can see it. That's when Team Swoh was officially incorporated, but it was it started off as a joke, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, I was
Like
gonna
I
ask the definition of SWO and how the brand came to be. So here we go.
yeah, well, 2012 is when it started to really become a thing because everybody's like, like what is? It was also about getting swole, getting in the gym. That's when I was getting back into like training full time. Actually, I'm sorry, 2009. Actually, it was fresh out of a bad breakup, things of that nature, and actually from that time, from the breakup, it was like March ish, something like that, to like September. That was the second time from that stretch that I was homeless. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I actually lived in my I was living in my car. I was still working, but I was living in my car,
Wow. How
driving.
what was the stretch? How many months?
It was
Or
about 6 to 7 months.
wow.
You know what I mean? And but no one knew. You know what I mean? I didn't complain. It sucked. Don't get me wrong, it sucked. I'm not saying like, oh, it was a breeze. It definitely wasn't, but
Yeah.
I didn't let it stop me from grinding. Like I've been on my own since I was, 17. So it's been over 24 years of nonstop grinding. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Team Swo's slogan is keep grinding, because that's all I know.
Mhm.
And it from that point on, when the joke was, "Yeah, I want my Team Swoh, I want Team Swoh on the shirt. I want my shirt. When you put that on the shirt, I want my shirt." I'm looking at them like, "All right, well, maybe I should put it on the shirt." And then that's
Yeah.
when the question came about, what does "swole" mean? Well, y'all know the actual dictionary spelling, that it was actually added to the Webster's dictionary, like not even 10 within the last 10 or 15 years. The actual spelling is SWOLE, swole.
Yeah.
So, but when you enunciate that one syllable word, no one's really you don't hear them enunciating the L in swole. So I respelled
Yeah.
it the way it sounds when we say it, swole, SWOH.
Yeah, there was a female wrestler, Swole. Was it
Big
just Swole?
swole. Big swole.
Big Swole, yeah. I remember
Yeah,
her.
she's a goat. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope
I
she's
liked
doing
her in
well.
AEW.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing now, but I hope she's
I know
still
she
out
had
there
some health
thriving.
issues, so I think she
Did
had to
did
y
she? I
yeah.
didn't know that.
I
Oh,
can't
well,
remember what it was now, but
I hope all is well with her. Shout out to Big Swole, man. But like
yeah.
but she was yeah, she was in AEW for a while. I do
Yeah.
remember. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
My
that's
mom
how
and I
that
used to pop for her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice. See, I'm sure if she watches, I'm sure she's gonna love to hear that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how it came to be. I respelled it the way it sounds when we actually say the word, because no one's really enunciating the L in swole. And at first, it was an acronym. It was also an acronym for stacking weights out here. It was just strictly fitness based for a while. And which I still am. You know, I mean, I'm still a trainer. I still do that. I still, have personal training, do all that, but. Um, for a while, I was trying to figure out what else can I do to bring onto this empire, because fitness can, blends in pretty well with wrestling, because you have to be fit to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um, which makes sense with what we do, as a team. But it wasn't. I've always been a gamer, so it was one of the main things that saved my life as a kid, because I was entertaining very dark thoughts as a kid. You know, what I mean, because I was just felt emotionally and mentally unsafe. The contrary to what my relatives would say. You know what I mean? Because nobody
Mhm.
wants to paint it in a bad light. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but I didn't feel safe. You know what I mean? Mentally, and
Yeah.
that's why I became such a big advocate on mental health after my last breakup before I met my wife. Because it's important that we are okay up here. Because if you're not right up here, you're nothing else will be, and you're no good to anyone else.
Right. And I think it's very important in wrestling in a male-dominated industry, and, a lot of people don't talk about these types of things,
Mhm.
mental health, and with concussions and stuff like that can come
Mhm.
depression, anxiety. So when you set up your booths at wrestling shows, do you find that you're a safe place people can come talk to you, even if it's about fitness or making changes to their daily routines?
A safe place for me or for them?
For them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
Like, would
do.
wrestlers come up to you and talk to you about
There
fitness,
have
maybe
been
mental
some.
health?
There have been some that have come up to talk to me a lot. Some big names that people know now. Before they, because that's just it's all one thing as a trainer. I've always believed you you cannot be a trainer. I don't care whoever feels about this when I say this. You cannot say you're a trainer and not look the part.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there's
Like
nothing
if you
worse.
that
Yeah.
and as it doesn't say that means you're not properly conditioned. Like you could have great conditioning, but if you don't, like the aesthetics that go with it, you know what I'm saying? Like don't say you're a trainer and don't look like you train. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like look the part because the visual gives people that boost that they need to work harder if they trust you to, whether they're paying you or coming to you for advice, whatever the case may be, to get themselves in shape, get themselves right. You know what I mean? They're trusting you with trusting your guidance. You know what I mean? So I've had like for instance, like off the top of my head, who comes to mind immediately when you ask that question, it was at the ECW arena, of course, one of Tim's many shows. We're good friends with who we all know, Jacob Fatu. Before he got signed to WWE, he was running with MLW for the longest time, and there was times where he was. I think it was either after one of his matches. I think it was his last match at MLW before he was going to do a show with BCW, but then he had to pull out because he got called by WWE.
Yeah.
Um,
I think he was
but
supposed to
we were,
wrestle my cousin that show,
yeah, I
Tommy
think
Billington.
so. Yeah, exactly. And that was something Steph and I got set up for him with Tim. And he and I was sitting at the bar area in the ECW room, just at one of the tables, in front of the bar. And he was talking to me about, talking about getting with me about, about a nutrition plan and getting on the training plan, things like that. Because not that Jacob looked great, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a heavily stocky built Samoan man, like, what I'm saying, but he wanted to get more cut. That's what he was telling me, like, you know what I mean? And get his eating right and things of that nature. So he's like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to get
sometimes it's
with you,
about how you
man.
feel too. If you're not eating
Mm-hmm.
right, some people metabolize and they can look great, but maybe they don't eat well and they're feeling really low
And they're
energy and
feeling really off. I think he
yeah,
only had one meal that day. If I remember correctly, he had one meal that day before his match that evening. And
that's
he
how a
was
lot of
telling
them
me
do it.
that yeah, he told
Yeah,
me that post match when we're sitting there, he was talking about getting with me to talk about training things of that nature when he's in the area and what I mean, things like that to link up for training, things like that. And nothing came of that only because shortly after that he got signed by WWE. I mean, which is okay. What I mean, I'm happy for him because I knew and deep down in my heart I knew he was going to get signed. And also I felt the same way for our good friend Lance Anoa'i, his cousin. He also got signed that year as well, 2024. You know
oh,
what
it
I
might
mean?
have been
So
Lance.
like,
My cousin was going to wrestle. It was one of the two of them. I can't remember.
I think it was Jacob.
It was okay.
It
Yeah,
was Jacob. It was Jacob. And but Lance and I've had many conversations about he's another one that we talked about fitness and training and things of that nature. Where I've actually done some of his meal. I've done a couple of his meal plans for him. For Lance, what I mean, he can tell you all that. If y'all think I'm just talking to talk, you can ask Lance directly. He'll tell you.
yeah. Did he stick
He's
to it? Did he follow through with it?
oh, he stuck with it. He
Yeah,
stuck with it. So I mean, like for a while. I mean, I haven't, really. I mean, when we saw him last, he was like a lot
yeah,
thinner than I last saw him. He looked fantastic. You know what I mean? Like even though he's not in WWE anymore, but he's still keeping busy. You know what I mean? He's still working. He's still
absolutely.
training. So like
Still
Lance is just
grinding.
putting in. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a lot of the things that Lance and I talked about. Like I mean, because me, Lance, and my wife, we have a group chat, so we talk about whether it's fitness or talk about stuff wrestling related, and just checking to see how he's doing. But like last time we saw him was a few months back when he was in town and we went to meet with him at a restaurant. Was that Jimmy's Seafood in Baltimore? Is that what it is? I think
Yeah, is
got a
that one
lot.
that's really popular? A lot of wrestlers go there. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And we met
I
with him
think
out
they
there.
have a British Bulldogs drink or something, or maybe it was a themed night. I can't remember.
It might have been
I
because
have
I
a
didn't see
friend
it.
that goes there, and he'll show me the menu and stuff. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, if that's the case. That's pretty cool. Because I mean, like, I don't know if that's I
No,
mean,
I
I'll
know. I
definitely
think
check.
it was like I think they did, I don't know, trivia or something. It was a British Bulldogs question, I think. That's what it was. But he
Oh,
did,
okay.
yeah, he'll always show me pictures and stuff because so many wrestlers go there. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there's a whole wall, not just wrestlers, but
We'll
all
have to go
types of
sometime.
celebrities. Yeah, next time you come over here, like you're for like a long weekend, like maybe a week or whatever, we'll take
Yeah,
a day trip out there. Because Stephanie, it's only like from here, it's like a little over an hour. You know what I mean? It's just a drive right up
yeah,
95,
I've heard
come
of
right
it.
back. So we can go make a you, Steph, and Lo. We can go out there like a team outing and go there. Like they have a whole wall of like celebrities and wrestlers and people that have gone there. Like I'm talking like A-list celebrities that go to that place. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
it's a really really beautiful restaurant. Like shout out to Jimmy Seafood. Like they
yeah.
took care of us while me, Steph, Lance,
Good
and one of
fries, I
Lance's.
bet.
Huh?
Good fries, I'm sure.
Oh, come on now, come on now. You
Yeah,
know how your bro do. T-
big
Fun
basket.
fact: my French fries are one of my favorite cheat meals.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everywhere we
anywhere
go,
I
he's gotta
go,
try the fries.
listen, if I've never been there before and they got fries, I'm trying it.
Yeah.
Just
Even
saying.
Hooters. Hooters curly fries, you were
Yes.
loving those.
I was loving it, man. I was tearing them things up, man. But I'm like, listen, I mean, I train, so I'm good. I
Yeah,
mean,
just
I'll
like a
work that
cheat
off
meal.
tomorrow. Yeah. So no, but
Absolutely.
that's how it was. You know, what I mean, like I do try to give off safe energy.
Nice.
Because I don't like to. I've been told I look because my neutral expression, it looks like I'm angry all the time. I'm like I can't help that. That's how my face looks. But
I guess
that's why
the security in you.
I guess because I don't tolerate bullshit. So what I mean, if that energy comes around me, like I'm like just make sure you read my face because that will say it before my mouth does. And if you make me talk, like there's gonna be a conversation you're not gonna like. So I'm just
I've
what I
seen it.
mean, like I try to have my face as a deterrent. I mean, make sure you approach correctly. You know what I'm saying? Don't like, you know what I mean? Because it's just I don't have time to entertain. You know what I mean? A nonsense. You know what I mean? Like we grown, we busy, we got shit to do. Don't come at me. You don't come around here with all that. You know what I mean? And that's like, especially when it comes to my wife, my daughter. When and when we're with you, like you already know how you see how I am when I'm around you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I lock in, and at that point, y'all forget I'm there half the time because I'm doing this the whole
Yeah,
time.
there's definitely like a different level of protection when I came out to Philadelphia that we don't see that in Canadian men over here. It's like, I don't know, it's like, yeah. So I really
Really?
liked that. I love that about you and Angelo. And yeah, I don't know if it's just like we're more la-di-da over here, you know. I know that Philadelphia is known to be maybe a little on the
On the rough side, yeah.
rough
Depending on what
side
part.
sometimes.
Depends
Yeah.
on what part. I mean, Philadelphia is a humongous city.
Yeah.
There's the bougie parts, and then there's the rough parts. You know what I mean? Like the ECW arena is kind of in the middle of both. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you can attract either
Yeah.
side, then whether it's the rough side or the mass affluent side. You know what I mean? You just never know. But um I wherever because I'm from Trenton, so that's hood. You know what I mean? So like that's areas like that don't bother me. You know what I mean? It's just I just know what to look out for when I'm in areas like that, or just hell, even like suburban areas or the more quieter or luxury like mass
Yeah.
affluent uppity areas. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm not. I don't discriminate.
It's
Like
always on a swivel.
anything can happen anywhere. And that's why my head's always on a swivel. You know what I mean? Like just because it's for my safety's sake. No matter where we at, my back cannot be turned to anybody. Like I must have eyes on everything and everyone. Like my back will be against the wall. You know what I mean? That's how I'm able to not only protect myself, but protect my wife, my daughter, Angelo, even though Angelo don't need it, but that's my bro. So I'm gonna look out for it. I'm gonna have his back too. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm built.
Yeah. I feel super blessed as well to have connected with you because I mean, look at you.
Don't be blowing my
Like
head
I
up
said, I
now.
wouldn't no one else had rather to protect me. You and Angelo, I'm golden.
Well, I'm humbled that you feel that way, fam. I'm honored to be part of this journey with you to get your dad where he should have been a long time ago. Like, and I'm not saying that just because we're tight. I've always felt that way. You know what I mean? Like even before leading up, like right now on my TV in the back is muted, but I told you I always have YouTube of watching like random things, usually wrestling related things. Have
Mhm.
some of your dad's old matches when he was wrestling a beefcake.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, just throwing it on because like that to me, those were the golden years of wrestling to me. And and I love watching it back because we don't get that anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like in
I know, it's not
Stampede
the same.
Wrestling, you know what I'm saying? Old WWF days, you know what I mean? Like it's just It's not the same anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
And I'm seeing a lot of these endorsements that people are finally putting respect on your dad's name. Most recently, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I mean? That's a huge endorsement. I was hyped when I heard that,
Oh,
when I
was that
saw
on
that.
the Hot Ones or
Oh
whatever it's
yeah,
called?
yeah.
Or Hot
Hmm.
Takes, I think it's called.
I take, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's I thought that was I'm like, I really wish they would have given your dad the props that he deserved back then, because sure, nobody's perfect, nobody's an angel, but at the end of the day, he ain't hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's people that have done way worse than they try to project him to be. He's not, he was not a monster. Like, I really wish people would stop vilifying people, especially when you weren't there. Like, you
Exactly. Well,
know what I
we're doing the
mean?
work
Like,
now, so hopefully that'll change
I
and get him where he deserves.
well, I
Get
told
him
you,
where he belongs.
I feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my soul that, especially now, as of late, you know what I mean? I have no doubt in my heart, in my God-given heart, that your dad's going to be in next year's class. I just feel it. I feel it and I know it. And I can't wait to see you up on that stage, get just on that worldwide global audience with watching you, and just beaming with pride for your dad. I know he'd be proud. He's proud now. You know what I mean? That you love him so much that you're going about on this quest, honoring him the way you are. Like, getting to that part, to that portion of this journey that we're on together, it's just going to be the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be right there, obviously watching your back, but clapping for you internally, because I got to be serious and everything. You know what I mean? I got to watch halfway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go put them in headlocks. I'll do it for real. In real life, headlocks are different.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't
Yeah,
wait. It's
yeah, it's
been
going to be
a really
awesome.
exciting journey every step of the way. So,
I'm sure you got to dress for it, right? I know you got to dress for it. Come on
well,
now.
I don't have it yet, but
You have your eye on anything? I know you Miss Fashionista
no,
over here. I
because
know
if
you can.
it's Saudi, then that's a whole nother ball game. So we'll have
I,
to
I
see.
figured. I figured you would have been prepped for that, even if it is in
Yeah,
Saudi.
I'll figure it out. It won't be hard. I got a
Oh,
designer here in Calgary too, so
see. Look at you. See, I knew you was ready. I knew you was cooking on something over
I
there. I
got a
knew you
girl,
were.
got a hookup.
Okay. Hey, I can't wait to see what you come up with when the time comes.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So just going back to the mental health, do you think there's a lack of support within indie wrestling regarding mental health?
From what I've seen, since being on this side of the business, beyond being a fan, and actually working on this side now, my observation tells me there's a lot less mental health support, or mental health, at any promotion, many promotions, like making sure that to look after the well-being of their talent. And that's just my observation. I could be completely wrong, but there's a few wrestlers I know personally that have struggled, like, since I've been on this side within the past 2 years, 3 years or so, that have talked about some of their struggles that they've been dealing with mentally, that, what I mean? And wrestling is usually their escape. And then there's times when wrestling's not their escape, because then now they got to deal with stuff that affects their mental when they're working wrestling. Like, whether not any
Yeah.
one promotion in particular, it's just the scene itself, because one wrong thing said about a certain wrestler could affect them getting bookings down the line, and that messes with their mental, because that's messing with their living, that's messing with their money, that's messing with their journey to try to get to the big leagues, if that's their goal, like, TNA, AEW, WWE, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, what I mean? And a lot, I've been told that I have, I don't know how or why, but I've been told that I have this face that people trust to tell me. I have strangers telling me things, deep personal things, that they haven't even told their friends and family. I'm looking at them like, why are you telling me this? You know what I mean?
I guess
And
your tough guy face isn't scaring everyone off then.
it's not meant to scare anybody off. It's just, but it's meant to deter the nonsense. Because I'm not. You already know I'm not about the nonsense. But the ones that get brave enough to get past my neutral expression, start talking, they're shocked. They're like, oh, he really is a nice person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he really is. I'm sorry, not a nice person. He's approachable. I'm
Yeah.
approachable. I don't bite or anything, but I'm not gonna sit here and tolerate bullshit either. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean when I say, come correctly, or don't approach me at all. You know what I mean? And that's with the mental health aspect of it. Like, I talk to a lot of a handful of wrestlers in the indies, working in these different promotions, that have that talked about a lot of mental struggles that,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a lot of support. And some, go to therapists, and some don't believe in therapy. I mean, some just don't want to, they don't talk to anybody about it. What I mean? And when the ones that have said that they don't really talk about it or talk to anybody about it, somehow end up opening up to me. I don't ask any questions. It's just, they just start telling me things, and I can't relate, because the most insulting thing you can say to someone that's actually talking to you and confiding you with information they don't talk about out loud is saying, "Oh, I've been there. I've been in your shoes." No, the fuck I haven't. No, the fuck you haven't. You have not been in their journey. You have not been in their shoes. You don't know what they've been through. Only what they tell you. But you can't say, "I understand." Like, I get where I get it. Do
Yeah.
you?
Everyone processes things differently too, so
Exactly.
they could be like,
Exactly.
"It's
And
fine, just, keep
yeah,
going," but you don't know how they're feeling inside.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I listen more than I speak. You know what I mean? Like, things like this where you hear me talk more is when I'm around the people I care about. Now in public, you'll forget I'm even there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's a social anxiety thing. I've never really thought about it. It's just me. I'm
You're
in
an
scan
observer,
mode,
yeah. Just
observing. You
taking
know
it
what I
all
mean?
in.
Because I mean, it's that's just me. Like, except for in the wrestling scene when we're at, shows, promotions, things like that. Like,
That's your
other
place.
than that, yeah, I mean, yeah, but even then, it's not even me like 100% out of my shell. It's just me, because when you have to turn on, you turn on. You know what I mean? But if I'm not, like, I'm just sitting there surveilling everyone and everything that's coming around me, my wife, you, Lo. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I try to be that safe space for anybody that wants to approach me, like when we're out in public, because I don't go in public much unless I'm working. You know what I mean? As you know, but
Yeah. You got a
it's
nice cozy
humbling.
house, you go to the gym, like, what else do you need?
Okay,
Yeah.
all this behind me,
Yeah.
this is all I need right here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with my squad. They know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, present company included. It's just I do my best to be there for someone if they need it. You know what I'm saying? And if they talk about it, if they confide in me, I say, okay, we now have laid out the problem. So
Yeah.
what's the solution now? Let's work towards a solution. You know what I
Yes.
mean? What do you need my help for, to help you get there? Or am I just you just need me to be a listening ear? You know what I mean?
Listen.
Because sometimes that's all people need, just an ear.
Yeah, sometimes that helps. I think it would be so cool just kinda talking about it and everything that we're doing. Wouldn't it be great if there was, like, a place at wrestling shows set up, like a booth for mental health? So,
Hmm.
fitness, mental health, that goes hand in hand. So,
Absolutely.
if it's resources or just someone to talk to, like, we're not counselors, but we're experienced and, I don't know, I just think it'd be really cool to add on to what we're doing and push that mental health, advocacy more.
I agree. I think that would be a great idea. Honestly, because to your point about us not being licensed therapists or things like
Mhm.
that, but we're just human beings who know how to who
Compassionate,
are
empathetic,
empathetic.
been through
Exactly.
it.
And it
They
may
might
not
not
be the
feel as
same
judged.
circumstances, but it could be something, a relatable umbrella of circumstances that lead to us thinking, like, we just feel mentally strained, or we're just in mental anguish that we can't pull ourselves out of this mental hole that we're stuck in. You know what I mean? To your point, as far as, like, setting something up when we do these events, you know what I mean? Like, that takes up a good chunk of our day. For Swoh Dragon Gaming, when I'm streaming and gaming on Saturday evenings, my brother, Rich, who goes by Mr. 1800, on the streaming airway. Shout out to my brother Rich, Mr. 1800, and his beautiful wife Haley, and their three lovely children.
Was this your
We
buddy that came to see you recently?
He's the one that pulled up on me. He and his entire family just
Nice.
popped up on me. 8 or 9 hours. He packed the whole family up, and they drove 9 hours to get here.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I was like, I'm not used to things like that. People doing things like that for me. I'm usually the one doing for others. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, people take advantage of that. So reciprocation is very rare on my end from anyone. You know what I'm saying? Outside of my wife and my best friend Jess, Raja. Shout out to Raja. But he and I impromptu started what we have now dubbed as Camp Swoh conversation. Now, why Camp Swoh? Well, I call my my viewers, my streaming community. I call it the Swoh Nation. He calls his community the camp. So we
Nice.
combined it together and we call it Camp Swoh because we've combined our communities.
Love that.
And that's what we started on Saturday evenings. We spent a good like maybe half of that stream, gaming like we normally would, talking to to our community. Then we stopped gaming and we just focus on the cameras and we start what we now call Camp Swoh conversations. And we take about 2 to 3 people, that evening because now everybody has that energy to stay up that late. To come into the Discord and talk about whatever it is on their mind. It doesn't always have to be negative or I'm saying whatnot. It doesn't have to be anything your problems you're dealing with. It can be positive too. It started off with people just getting a lot of things that they've been harboring and really didn't have feel they have a platform or a space or anyone in their lives, their real lives, their actual lives to talk to. And somehow Rich and 100 and I gave them that platform to do so, and it's really helped a lot of people
I
to the
love
point
that.
where
Hey, I have
with
Discord. I'm gonna have to jump on
yeah, absolutely.
for that part.
Yeah, she said for that part. You know what?
I don't know
Forget
the
you.
gaming, but
Well, I'm sure you know retro gaming, so we'll talk about that.
yeah,
But it's been great. Giving people that and also too because we're live on the airways, we tell people, hey, if you're not comfortable doing so, you don't have to. There's no gun to your head. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you don't have to say anything you don't want to. You don't have to talk about nothing you don't want to. But just know that this is a judgment-free zone and it's safe here. Anybody's disrespectful will be booted. We don't do that, man, because what I mean, it's already hard enough for everyone out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's brave for someone to come forward on a platform that's live on the airwaves to talk about something that they can't talk about someone in their actual lives in private, and you're doing it publicly.
that's
You know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
amazing.
So
So
it's
yeah, just
it's
things like that, like promoting that at wrestling shows. Like if you're a
mhm,
gamer, join this. Have your card at the table. Let them know about that if that's something they'd be into. It could help a lot of people.
yeah.
You know.
And that's what it is here. I mean, because like in retrospect, it does help me as well because it lets
Mhm.
me, it's like it helps me to help other people. So that
Yeah,
way it brings that good energy to my soul. Just so like even if we're helping one person, that's a win.
yeah, I agree.
You know, you know what I mean? One is more than enough. You know what I mean? So helping more than one is just an added blessing on top of that. And it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with the fact that, they felt comfortable enough to come and be vulnerable and speak about whatever's been weighing on their heart, their mind, their spirit, their soul, whatever the case may be. And then we just let them speak because they feel obviously they feel they can't do that in their act in their actual lives. So here you are. Here's your space.
Yeah,
What's on
and
your
that's
mind?
great too because you guys play first, you can get a little more comfortable, get some of
Mhm,
that
mhm.
shake off some of that negative energy, and then you talk. So I think that's wonderful.
Exactly. Running and gunning, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Battlefield, Halo, all that. And then you go from all that chaos to let's bringing it down with getting deep or talking about positive things. The last couple of
Yeah,
cancel conversations, we talked about positive things. You know what I mean? Like what we were doing for the weekend, and Rich, I nicknamed him Hunted because he goes by he's Mr. 1800. I just call him Hunted. He talks about his kids, and what I'm saying about how artistic, are like artistic like his kids are, that they've made
drawing.
so many of these things for me and my wife, like and just
Aw,
here on my desk, like all
yeah,
these
that's my
things.
little one too,
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Are you talking about Arlo?
Carla. Well, both my girls
Yeah,
are artists, actually. My
yeah.
only is too.
So yeah, I mean, it doesn't always have to be something deep or deeply personal. I mean, and that's that maybe everyone shouldn't hear this, but it's I want it's just my little role that I play, that Hunted and I play together, trying to, and in retrospect, we have one-on-one conversations ourselves as well. You know what I mean? Because like it's good to have some sort of mental support because I know for a man it's harder for us as men to talk about stuff like this because we're in the mind state that where not many people really care about men's mental health, which is why the suicide rate for men among men is so high.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And the only people only really care about, that's just my perspective. I could be wrong. Y'all may feel differently about this, but people only really care about men's mental health when they get to the point where they break and it looks like anger. Then all of a sudden, now you're caring about their mental health. You know what I'm saying? When they try to
Yeah,
open up, try to be vulnerable, and then they shut down because you shut them down. One shot is what is all we give to anyone that we open up to. You make us feel unsafe. You'll never hear us talk about it again, and that's
yeah.
part of the problem.
Absolutely. And I'm hearing a lot of there's a ambassador in the sobriety club that I'm a part of, and he is like a nutritionist and all that, and 40 something years old, early 40s.
Mhm.
And so I'm listening to him talk about low testosterone, and that's a huge thing too that plays a role. I don't know if you know much about that, but it's
Yeah.
very interesting to listen to. And kind of like women, we have postpartum. Well, the men get it too in a different way, and that's something that people don't talk about. And it's just really interesting. And I'm listening to him speak, and I'm like, I think that a lot of men are suffering from this, and they don't even know. They don't even know where to begin.
And I mean, and that could be because I'm that could be the case, and it goes back to, getting yourself checked, taking care of your
Yep.
body,
This is
asking the
blood
questions
work
that you
you got
don't
to
want,
do, I
facing the
guess.
things that you don't want to talk about, face, what I mean? Like when you're talking to like, a healthcare professional, whatever the case may be, it's just better to know than not. What I mean? So you can get ahead
Absolutely.
of the game. God forbid if there's something that needs to be addressed that could be potentially life threatening, what you know what I'm saying, or not, what I mean, because it could just be all in our heads, mental, which goes back to what we talk about with our mental health.
Yeah.
I'm just because I know that's how it is for the most part when it comes to men's mental health, is why I'm such an advocate for it, is why I'm so passionate about it, because I want to see my fellow kings doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my fellow men out there thriving, not surviving, but thriving. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something I'm working
Absolutely.
on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
unless I tell you, you'll never know what's going on with me unless I tell you.
Right.
I'm never gonna be the one to let on, like, you give you this face right here, and so that way I can provoke someone to ask me, hey, what's wrong? Like, no, I don't want all that pity or that sympathy, or like, people just ask to be nosy. They don't ask because they want to understand, or see how they can be of assistance. People just are just nosy. They just want to know, and that's it. Not offer any real assistance or any real solution if me or any man decides to open up to the person asking, whether it's male or female. It doesn't matter. My thing is, yeah, the gym has been my therapy for the longest time. It was the
Yeah.
gym, and I just recently started back in therapy recently, like after like 20 something years. What I mean? Obviously, I was a different person then than I am now, to where I felt that therapy wasn't really working for me. You know what I mean? Like, and now it's like it's actually a little different now that I'm older. You know what I mean? Because I'm more open to certain things, and this, in addition to me training and hitting the gym as much as I do, helps. You know what I mean? Because I got to talk to my therapist. He's awesome, cool dude, and I mean very relatable. And we talk. I mean, he's helped me put a lot of things in perspective. That's right there. How some things are right there in your face, but you can't really see it until someone
You need
looking from
someone
the
that's
outside
more
in.
in. Yeah.
And they just bring it to the fore for you, and it's been there the whole time. But because you're so tunnel vision on everything that's wrong, the solution could have been right in front of you the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, or just help you see things from a perspective you're not used to, in a way you're not used to thinking. You know what I mean? That helps, because with your mental, like, you got to keep your head straight. You know what I
Do you
mean? And
feel like just talking to someone like right away helps you feel better, or is it more about getting the solutions? Because I find with therapy with me, I'll do one session and I'm like, oh, I already feel better. Just the
right.
fact that I'm reaching out, I know I'm helping myself. I don't have the answers yet, but I instantly start feeling better because I'm taking the steps to do something.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I feel that, I mean, like, I'm always about solutions, getting to how can
Yeah.
we fix this, and how can I fix this now? How can I make this work? How can I, you know what I mean? Like, sure, talking about it does help. I'm not knocking that at all. You feel me?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, once I get how I feel, like off my chest, okay, doc or whoever I'm talking to, Bronwyn, can you help me figure out what do you think I should do? Like, what is, if you were in my position after everything I just told you, like, what direction would you take? You know what I mean? Like, I will go for, like, because at that point now I want to get to the solution. I want to get to not just putting a band-aid over it, but pulling it from the root.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like, because weeds can still grow back. You feel
Mhm.
me? And that's what I'm about. You know what I mean? And it's not a knock to anyone else, because simply talking about it could be all the relief they need. You know
Yeah,
what I
everyone's
mean?
different, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, um, what happens if there's a next time that it comes back around and it creeps up in your brain and you're back to talking about the same thing again, which is why I'm so result driven, which is why I'm like, what's the solution? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What can we do so that way I don't have to come back around to this? And when it comes to mine again, I can easily deal with it internally. you know what I mean, or however I need to deal with it and move along instead of hyper fixating on it. You feel me?
I
Like, it's
do.
easier said than done. You know what I mean? Like don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I'm not
I
talking
know
like I
some
got
people
all
too,
this
they
down
want the
pat.
answer right away, but it's like you have to be patient because
Yeah.
it's a whole process of like digging deep and
Mhm.
starting from the beginning,
Yeah.
which for
100%.
some men, they have never done it. So it's like it's a bit of a process. You got to be
It is.
patient. Yeah.
100%. And that's you're absolutely you're correct. Like, it's hit the nail right on the head. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other part too. It'd be testing my patience, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
what
Wanted
am
the
I?
answers.
Yeah, I want them now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I want to know now. Uh, but it's one thing. I just leave it. I get it off the chest. I pray. I'm like, this is not for anyone who, if you don't, not a praying person or not a God person, that's fine. This is not for you. It's for the ones that are the prayer warriors, the ones that keep God first. That's above all else. I keep God first because at the end of the day, man, I wouldn't be who I am, where I am, and without Him. You know what I mean? And God, my relationship with God is tight. Like, we talk every day. How you and I are talking right now is how I talk to God. You know what I mean? Because His word says, "Come as you are." So
Mhm.
this is who He made me to be. So I'm coming to Him as He made me. You know what I mean? Because there's no more way to approach Him than just to be your authentic self. You know what I mean? Because even if you put it on the facade, He's gonna see right through it. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He sees
that's
all.
true.
So my
Yeah.
my thing is, I just like, prayer changes things, and it's something that I do not cease on. You know what I mean? Like, even if God don't answer my prayers right away, I know He hears me, and I know He's working on it on His time. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean, and I just
Yeah.
keep doing, as they say, faith without works is dead. So I'm doing my part, whatever I feel is my part in the works portion of that statement, of that word. Uh, so that way He can take care of the rest of what it is that I'm working towards, or whatever plan or aspiration that I've placed in His hands to bless. You know what I
And there are
mean?
no coincidences, and you just have to trust the
No,
process.
100%.
And
And
I've had
it's
a lot of
easier.
those lately where I'm like, whoa, like just random coincidences that I'm like, that doesn't just happen for no
Mm-mm,
reason. So,
it doesn't.
you just have to
It
notice those things and trust the
mhm,
process.
absolutely. And
That's where I'm at.
you mentioned about me being spiritual. I was like, yeah, I'm very big on I'm not into the religion Christianity or
No.
Buddhism or Episcopalian. Well, I'm not into that either. My religion is my relationship with God, because at the
Yeah,
end of the
that's
day,
how I am too.
it's all the same God. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, some people may call Him something different. We call Him God. Some other people in other religions call Him Allah. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You just, at the end of the day, it's still the same God who created us. So my
How do
thing
you want
is,
to do it?
yeah, like, however you have your relationship with Him, by all means, you will never hear a judging word from me. You know what I mean? My thing is, if this ain't for you, then don't listen. You know what I mean? But if it is, you know what I mean, just get you some God in your life, because I would not be who I am. I probably wouldn't have met you. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have met Lo. I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't be in this place. A guy who's been homeless twice, you know what I'm saying, who's been on his own for so long. I wouldn't have all this, you know what I'm saying, without God. Like, everything I have is no credit of my own, is all God. And
Yeah.
I will always give Him that credit, because I'm nowhere. I don't want anything that's not sent by God. I don't care how shiny it look. I tell God every day, listen,
That's him. Yeah. He's
if
watching. He
it
might be testing you.
if it ain't sent by you, God, I don't even want to know about it. Don't send it to me. I don't even want to know what's coming my way. Keep it over there, please. Because, you know what I'm saying, the devil's busy. You know what I'm saying? But he got no place in my house, in my life, or the people, my wife, my marriage, or anything that has to do with me. I pray for my family and my friends every single day. You know what I mean? Because I want that divine protection upon them, like I asked for Him to do upon me. You know what I mean? Because all of y'all are an extension of me.
That's right.
You
See,
know what I
I'm
mean?
blessed. Blessed to be in your circle.
Yeah, I mean, and oh, well, listen, I'm blessed to be in yours. Did I do it right? No? All right. Well, I tried.
And look, we're representing each other's shirts today. We didn't even plan that. I thought he'd be
Yes.
wearing his. I know you can hardly
No,
see.
no. Are you kidding me? Listen, yeah, yeah. Hey, all of y'all here,
Thank
real
you.
quick.
You look good in
Yeah.
gray.
Oh, I like gray. Yeah, I mean, it's still to me, it's a neutral color. You know, because I'm usually wearing black.
Black.
because that's usually me. But
And
y'all
yellow's
see
one of my favorite colors, so.
my Dynamite Kid shirt. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure
Yeah.
if y'all have not signed that petition yet, y'all make sure to go to change.org and sign that petition to get the Dynamite Kid into the Hall of Fame where he rightfully belongs, y'all heard Bronwyn and I mentioned earlier that the petition's growing, the signatures are increasing, and we're getting huge endorsements. Not like from back in the day, but not just back in the day, but as of lately. You know what I mean? John Cena again mentioned him recently in an interview about Dynamite Kid. Triple H himself in a
Finn
conversation
Balor.
with Shawn Michaels talked about Dynamite Kid versus Tiger Mask. I think that's the match they were talking about when they brought your dad up. You know what I mean? Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rattlesnake himself, gave a hell of an endorsement to Dynamite Kid about his innovative ability back in his day. He was way beyond his years, his wrestling style. You know, it's just the fact that he's not there. We said this a while. I said this to you many times, Bron. Like it bothers me that he's not there right now. It really does, because you know what I mean, there's people in there, right? I'm just being real. There's people in a Hall of Fame right now. I'm like, how'd he get there? Or how'd she get there? Like, I'm asking that question. I'm like, what you know what I mean? Like, what were the parameters to say that they're such a remarkable person that contributed to the wrestling business for them to land him in the Hall of Fame? I'm looking at, I'm like, are we watching the same person? You know what I mean? That type of thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, you got someone that's the likes of Dynamite Kid, like that's not in there at this point. I'm not even saying that because we home. I felt this way before we met.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the British Bulldog was awesome. Awesome dude. Like, I mean, hell of a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like in his own right. Like I said this to you many times before, but one half and the other half not being in there, that don't sit, has never sat right with me. Never.
This makes sense.
Thank you. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? Like, please, WWE, y'all get wind of this. Just do the right thing. Put that man in there. Y'all know he belong in there. Y'all been talking about him recently, like within the past month or two. Please just do the right thing and put him in there. We're not talking no legacy hall, in the legacy hall, nothing like that. No, he's influenced some of your goats, John Cena, Uncle Brett himself, Bret the Hitman Hart again. He said he'll say it over and over again that Dynamite Kid was his favorite wrestler. It still is his favorite wrestler of all time. Recently, exactly. Like, you got like mega stars, you know what I'm saying, as Vince McMahon always put, like some of his mega stars, you know what I'm saying, that have endorsed Dynamite Kid even to this day. So I don't understand what the holdup is, but we need to make it right. You know what I mean? And I've always felt this way when it came to your dad. Always.
We got Cauliflower Alley coming up end of August, so that should be a big one. Lots of big names there too. We're super excited for that, and I think the momentum is just going to really pick up after that as well.
Oh, is it really not? Like, it's just going to snowball. It's going to be a domino.
Every event, it's like that we're doing. It's just more and more.
I mean, you're getting now. You guys now this journey that we're on. Like, it's not caught a major headline with. I think it was Wrestling News Corporation. Is that what the wrestling? Yeah, like I couldn't remember which one it was, but I knew it was one of the bigger ones. Like now, that's how you know it's picking up steam. Like I told you when we first started doing this together. Like, I just have a feeling. That if not this year, because I know it was like maybe like end of last year ish into the beginning of this year, like the very beginning of this year. Yeah, when we started. So I said, I just have
in November.
Yeah. So and I said, I just have a feeling that if not this year, next year, 2027, your dad's going to be in there. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why, and nothing really major happened yet, but I just knew deep down that
little like sprinkles of hope.
And then the biggest confirmation of that is when we went to Dave LaGreca and you did a live interview with him at Sirius XM Radio Studios. That to me was just it was up from there, and I cannot wait until we're all there and we're celebrating your dad. Like, you know what I'm saying, like he's earned that, man. He's earned that so many times over.
WWE now, so.
Yeah, that's right, because now they're known as was it WWE Radio now? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so like that's it's only a matter of time at this point for a Bronwyn. So like, just make sure you have that dress ready.
I will.
Make sure you got the shoes ready.
You don't have to worry about me in fashion. I'm on it.
I know. I'm just beating a dead horse on the head right now. Like, I know who you always got the flies. I've never seen you wear the same thing twice ever.
Never.
Ever.
Ever. Not to events. No, that's like
No,
nah, I don't do that. That's why I'm
yeah.
selling all these shoes right now. I'm like, well, we're
Well,
those ones.
the shoes could be in rotation, but
Oh yeah, no, I'm joking.
just
I have.
but any clothes, like even chill clothes, I've never seen you wear the same thing twice. Like
Well, I
not
wore
like
this in New York, so with you guys.
yes, I
There
do
you go.
remember that clip. I do remember that jacket. Okay.
But jean is
Oh,
like
yeah.
a staple, you know.
Yeah, we got denim. Yeah, listen. I
Canadian
can't tell you the last
denim,
time I wore.
denim on
I
denim.
can't tell you the last time I wore anything denim. I couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell you. Me, I'm in a tee, or if it's not a suit, I'm in my my Team Swoh joggers or my Team Swoh shorts. Like you know, what I mean, other
I
than
know
that,
those are
if
comfy.
I'm just hey, well, listen, me, you gotta rep. If you don't rep your brand, who will? You know what I mean? And the only thing, anything outside of mine is when I'm repping my people. Case in point, right here. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
thank you so
saying?
much.
Like that's how it's got to be, man. Like I'm always about supporting people, especially when they support me. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, I never felt supported. So, and I know how much that
I
feeling
think, yeah, if
sucks.
we just all push each other, we
I gotta
benefit.
do it.
We all benefit,
We all do. You know what I mean?
especially when we're like-minded and, our
Mhm.
values align. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not a yes man. I'll tell it like it is. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I have no problem saying what needs to be said. I'll say what everyone's thinking out loud, and I don't care. And that's not me to be a dick or be an asshole. It's just let's stop beating around the bush and say what really needs to be said here. You know what I'm saying? And then not just say it. Let's act. Let's make it happen. You know what I mean? Because like it's not a we don't know how much time we got left in this world, and we're all working on this invisible clock that we don't know when it's going to stop ticking. So let's just stop the bullshit. Let's make it happen, man. You know what I mean? Like it's not to say don't deal with whatever you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like confront it, deal with it, like however long it takes you. But life's not going to wait up for none of us. So, you know what I mean? It's you got to keep it moving, and you're just gonna you're gonna get left behind. And that's
Yeah.
just the way of the wolf.
And wrestling too, very fast paced. So
Oh
let's
yeah.
talk about your podcast a little bit. We've talked about your fitness line, we've talked about the gaming, but your podcast, Say It Ain't Swoh.
Mhm.
You've had two amazing guests recently. What is the podcast all about? Is it wrestling related? Is it
Well, it's not all wrestling. I mean, it's heavy wrestling because I
yeah,
told you like I grew up watching wrestling since I was like 3. So like you know I've always been a wrestling fan. So we talk more about wrestling even when I'm gaming. Swoh Dragon Gaming, we talk about wrestling even when we're gaming, talking about wrestling. But
yeah.
we talk. It's also more what we're doing now, talking about mental health, you know, current events, life. You know, what I'm saying just that's why I call myself the
So do you find a
relatable.
lot of your followers are very like-minded then? So they
Yes,
care about the same things as
majority
you?
of them are. There's a majority of them are, like a good chunk of them are, you know what I mean? And some just feel comfortable just being there, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they don't feel that they can get that elsewhere, you know what I mean? And that's to me, that's very humbling, you know what I mean? Because I want to let people know this is why I call myself the relatable podcaster because you know we can talk about one niche and talk about things you know what I mean like that we love like you know that give us you know, joy and whatnot, but some other people may not be able to relate to it. So
Yeah,
uh
agreed.
I keep my what I talk about like on a variety. You know what I mean? Even though a good chunk of it is wrestling. You know what I mean? Like I don't like um sticking to the same thing all the time. You know what I mean? Because at some point it gets stale. You feel me? But I talk mental health, I talk gaming, we talk celebrity news, we talk movies, big on movies. As you know, Miss
Yeah.
Swoh is big. We're big horror movie fans, especially with
Okay,
her
what
with
did
Scream.
you guys see Spider-Man this weekend? Is that what you were
Oh,
saying?
yes, we did see it, and it was a phenomenal movie. Okay, shout out to Tom Holland and Zendaya. Uh, hell of a movie. I'll enjoy it. Big Marvel fans, in case you couldn't tell. So, but it was a great movie. Like we talk about things like that. You know what I mean? Like one of my upcoming episodes, we're going to talk about like it's going to be talking about like '90s shows like Boy Meets World,
Oh,
Family Matters. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Saved by the Bell. You know what I
I'm
mean?
pretty
Things like
much 90s genre girly, so that one I'll have to watch. I'm not like
well,
huge into movies these days, but everything
it's
that I
okay.
know, everything that's quotable to me is 90s.
'90s, man. Like
Yeah,
'90s was the golden era of gaming and entertainment for like people like us who grew up in that. Like
that's what
that's
it
the
is. Yeah.
prime. I
Mhm.
just loved it, man. And it's just like it's nothing like it anymore. Like sure, the technology now with how they make movies it looks like visually stunning. Well, imagine if we had the technology now back in the 90s during our era of the prime peak era of entertainment for us. Oh man, we will never want to leave that. We will never want to leave that decade ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not the same. So I'm definitely looking forward to talking about that because in addition to wrestling, we go to cons like
Yeah.
horror cons and like Comic Con and things like that, where we meet some of the people from like a lot of our childhood shows going on, like the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Met a good chunk of them. What I mean?
Hells yeah.
Oh yeah. We met like one of the biggest people we met. Like I don't know if you know. I know you remember the Olsen twins, but not them, but their sister, who's the bigger star now, Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch in the
Didn't
Marvel
know she
universe.
existed.
Wow! Oh, get out!
Maybe. Maybe
Get
I
out right
did.
now. You can get out right now. Like, no, she's huge. Like she's Scarlet. She plays the Scarlet Witch in the Marvel universe.
Okay. Cool.
You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So she is the Olsen twins' little sister.
Oh, little sister.
She's the little sister.
Oh, I thought you said older sister. Okay.
No, she's the little sister who's the bigger star.
Oh, I gotta check her out for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But it's not just Marvel, but she's Elizabeth Olsen has a variety of movies under her belt. She's a phenomenal actress. But like Marvel and not so much DC. Boo, DC. Because that's where that's the universe with Batman and all of them. That's the only DC hero that I can relate to, Batman, because he's more realistic. You know what I mean?
I thought you were gonna knock Batman. I'm like, I love Batman.
No, I love Batman. No, I love Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is the shit. I mean, but yeah,
Grew up
that's
with
what the
Batman.
podcast talks about. We focus on that, and like even episodes where I don't have guests. You know what I mean? Like the last one I did without a guest was when Missy, shout out to Missy Sampson, the Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
when
Love
she
Missy.
called me to go work AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view last November, the week of Thanksgiving. I talked about that. And it was just me, you know what I mean? No Steph,
Yeah.
it was just me talking about my day and everything and the footage that I had when I was there, things like that. You know what I mean? Like I do a lot of those things, you know what I mean? So this talking about 90s and movies and things like that, it's going to be, it's going to be no different than that one episode I did of my day at Full Gear at AEW. You know what I mean? Things like that. And then I just try to keep it simple. I keep it relatable. I keep it as gripping as I possibly can because I know there's a lot of people like you and I who do what we do. You know what I mean? But I've never wanted to tear anyone down. I would never do that. Because
We all
there's
have
enough
something different to offer, and
exactly.
there's a lot
And
of place for it. So
exactly. And I'm not one to take food off nobody's table, man. Yeah, I mean, like it's already hard enough for people out here. So if them finding me on these airways, whether it's through the podcast, through gaming, through fitness, whatever the case may be, gives them some sort of relief or some sort of dopamine boost, and I'm here for it.
yeah, and you are excellent at the dopamine. Is that right? That sounds weird.
Dopamine, yeah.
Dopamine boost. I'm like, wait, am I saying that right?
You got it. I won't tell nobody.
So what is your overall goal with everything that you're doing?
To do all of
Long-term goal.
this, long-term goals, to do all of this as the full-time gig. I know like it's harder to do that because there's so many people in this space that do what we do who are far off, like, the Kai Sanats and the iShow Speeds and those big time streamers and podcast hosts and things of that nature. You know what I mean? It's just that success that they have without the mainstream attention. I don't know how I know that's possible. I know it's hard to achieve, but it's possible to achieve as well. You know what I mean? And it just from being authentic, being yourself. You know what I mean? And because one thing I learned as an adult, like, I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me. And that's okay.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
oh no, go ahead.
no, that's what I was gonna say.
Well, I was gonna ask you to plug all your socials.
Oh,
Where
okay.
can people follow you? And any events coming up, anything you want to plug that is coming up in your world?
Okay. Well, you can follow Team Swoh, TEAMSWOH. That's all one word. I'm on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, was it TikTok, YouTube is Swoh Dragon Gaming. I have two channels, one for the gaming because just kind of keep the algorithm separate. And then the other one for the podcast, the Sei It Ain't Swoh podcast. So those are on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, Team Swoh. I have to keep it as consistent as I can. Swoh's in
Yeah,
everything.
there
So,
you
you
go.
know what I mean?
I love it.
Uh,
That's what I was
yeah,
thinking if I branch out. I'm like, would it be yeah, like I would have Dynamite and everything that I'm doing or
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
same as
that
you.
would work though. We can
Yeah,
make it work. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like you said,
Dynamite
you
World,
have
Team Dynamite, Dynamite
you got the
Doll,
dollhouse, the
Dirt with the
team
Doll.
doll, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like whatever. Like you got the doll in there. You know what I'm saying? That you brought
yeah.
your dad's moniker and made it your own. You know what I mean? And I think that's great. That's one of I've always admired that that's one of your many ways of honoring him.
Thank you.
But making it yours. You know
Yes,
what I mean? And
exactly.
I'm pretty sure your dad would signed off on that from where he's at. You know what I mean? So I know he's proud of you. Like we all are. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
thank you.
And we're gonna cross that finish line sooner than you think. And with in regard to what's coming up, got a couple of episodes of the podcast coming up. I just recorded one yesterday that will drop next Saturday. That is my interview with the big daddy herself, Adriana.
Yes, love her. Had
That's
her on my
dropping.
podcast.
Oh yeah, my
Great.
sister's doing big things. Shout out to my sis Adriana, the big daddy herself. She's doing big things. We got something coming up in November. It's the big event.
November, yeah, we'll be at the big event in Brentwood, New York.
Big
Again,
event.
Team
Hmm.
Dynamite, making
Yep.
moves.
We're gonna be making
Hopefully, we got
moves.
to reach out to Dave LaGreca and see. I was going to be going on XM Radio again, but I don't know, or Sirius. I don't know with this WWE change what's going on, so we'll reach out to him and see.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely do that behind the scenes and see what's up with that. But I mean, based on what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like really much has changed with how he talks since the merger was announced. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I mean, and they still made it happen even after he expressed his outrage that your dad wasn't in the Hall of Fame. So I'm pretty sure Dave is safe.
yeah,
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, it'll be awesome to come on there and especially now with this merger, like a run it back type of meetup with LaGreca. You know what I mean. You're gonna have so much more to talk to him about in regards since your last sit down with him in the studio. So I think that's gonna be honestly, I think it should happen sooner than later. Because
yeah,
and I'm thinking like maybe after Cauliflower Alley. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Sometime
absolutely.
shortly between that and when we all link up again at the big event in New York in Brentwood.
Hmm.
I think we should do that. So we'll have
Yeah.
to
Yeah, there's many
wait,
options because they can do it like on the computer like this or in
mhm,
studio. I'd
in
have to be live.
studio. We'll make it happen somehow, some way. We'll make it happen. So I'm just looking forward to enjoying the journey. Like you said, trust the process. I mean, the
Yeah,
process. I'm trusting for you on your behalf because I
yeah.
already know. I already see the finish line. We're there. It's just a matter of what are we going
And
to
every
experience on
step
the
we
way
make,
there.
we're making new connections. It's a new adventure. So it's all
And I
worth
love.
it to me.
And because it means that much to you, it means that much more to me because I'm never thought I'd be on a journey like this as part of what I'm doing here. You know what I mean? Because I'm just a pea in a pod with a whole bunch of people that do the same thing I do. You do. You know what I mean? But I think God put us all together. He don't make mistakes. He put us together for a reason. You know what I mean? We think
Exactly.
like me, you, Lo, and my wife. We all think alike. So it just works. It's this team that of people that have these ideas and this approach to to how to get from point A to point B. I think it's been a wonderful blend for
It
Team
is.
Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Not just on a professional level, but a personal level as well, because we got to know each other a little more than anyone else in the wrestling scene knows about you, or they know about me, or they know about Lo, or they know about my wife, by
Yeah.
Steph.
And it was
You know
so
what I mean?
natural. It's a natural.
It's again organic,
Yeah,
and
organic.
that's is not forced. And I think that's what makes it. That I think that's the best part about it. That it's not forced.
Shout out to Team Dynamite.
Team Dynamite,
Well, thank
go.
you so much for being here today. It was so lovely to catch up with you. I would like to do another episode with my whole team. That would
Absolutely.
be really fun. Just
You're,
different and get everyone in there because I need to show off your wife as well.
of
Shout out
course,
to Steph. Love her.
my baby.
Yeah. And everyone go follow this man because obviously you can tell he is amazing and I wouldn't surround myself with anything less. So remember
Well, I'm
to
bummed.
sign that petition to get my dad in the WWE Hall of Fame and like and subscribe to X Brand Wrestling on YouTube. Thank you everyone for joining us today for episode 32 on Dirt with the Doll. Bye, Say.
Bye, see you, fam.
Bye.